And this just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The Saints put up 29 points a game last year, second only to the Falcons, and they're in range to get some points on this drive as well. 1st and 10. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Breeze. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And that is incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll look to run with Ingram. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Saints add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football played. As far as tight ends go, this guy is type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. That's not only Adam Thielen, that's the Pro Bowler Adam Thielen, who had 91 catches this year and over 1,200 yards, a career high.
We always look for great stories when we do games. Is there a better one this season than Adam Thielen in terms of where he came from to make a Pro Bowl roster as a receiver for the Minnesota Vikings? Lightly recruited out of high school, ends up at Mankato State, which is now known as Minnesota State Mankato. Undrafted, goes to a rookie free agent tryout camp, hangs around, makes the practice squad. First he's a special teams guy, and now he's one of the better receivers in the league. I think it's one of the best stories I've heard in 2017 NFL.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. It's Murray. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On second down, here's Keenum. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score game.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They're starting to put some space here. The first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set. Fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Steps away to his left. And he's got some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On second down, Ingram. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And that's a big collision. He's knocked backward as they will mark him down. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Anthony Barr leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Breeze to throw on second down. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And, he is really laid out up that time. Knocked flat on his back, right at the line of scrimmage. On fourth down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach, but it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On first down, Keenum throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Jarius Wright that time, and that'll bring up second down. Well, Charles, we got a split second here. Let's look ahead to this divisional round weekend coming up. Jacksonville, Pittsburgh. Now, those 2 teams met. You remember week 3, Jacksonville won 30-9. That was the game that Ben Roethlisberger said afterwards, hey, maybe I don't have it anymore.
Man, that's because he threw 5 interceptions in the game and really put his team in a deficit and in a hole. And, you know, since that time, Big Ben has shown us that he still has it. So that's not an issue at all. They expect Antonio Brown to be fully healthy for the game at wide receiver for Pittsburgh. But Jacksonville's defense, dominant in the first-round playoff game against Buffalo. They expect to be that way against Pittsburgh as well. They're playing with a lot of confidence.
Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Brees gives it up to Ingram. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Mark Ingram with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And he'll bang that one through.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Keenum to throw on second down. His throw incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's third down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing on third down, Keenum. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Down, Keenum. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Keenum on first down. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll make it a second down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On second down, here's Keenum. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Forbath will put this one through, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good, because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The final shot before half for Breeze. He's going to sling this deep downfield and unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down, hold that thought, Mr. Ridley. We've got a trip to the title game on the line. Folks are eager to get right back to the action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make...
And he lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And now they're in the hurry-up. Again, they'll run with Ingram. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. So 3rd down. They need to get to the 28 for a first. Breeze hands to Ingram. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A big hit. Knocked down sideways, right at the 20. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Zach Line with it, the fullback. But he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Saints add on to their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try to open things up in the run game.
And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Let's go!
Off the play fake, Keenum. Throw left side complete. It's right. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
first down. Murray. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Throwing now is Keenum. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. 10th carry of the game now. Murray. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They go back to Murray on first down. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
All right, here we go.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
No, check, Patriot.
Keenum on 3rd down. And it's caught. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think
we'll put this one through. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On the counter, Ingram. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Ingram again. And he is knocked down from the side. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And some room to work. Oh, he will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care what anyone says. To me, it takes a little bit of intestinal fortitude to call a running play in this down and distance. I mean, you're talking 3rd and 10, and sometimes the angles line up really well on a running play.
Well, it caught him totally off guard, obviously.
I think you catch him in some pass drops, and now you're able to fire out and get some space and create it for your runner and let your blockers get a good approach attack on the defenders.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
2nd and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Lutz will look to add the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. Now a hit and a loose football. And I think he was able to get back on it. He was. So they will get the ball after all, but that could have been a disaster.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
And the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Over the middle here to Rudolph. Look at the big man rumble. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph, 56 yards. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Forbath to add the extra point. And that will cut this lead down to 25. Forbath out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now running right through it. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
They toss to Ingram, and he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. The Saints on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. The Saints do snap it. It's Breeze. Forced out to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship. And now you can start to smell it at this point.
Montana.
You know, I'm like, yeah, nice.
Want to see what happens next? Choose yes to continue playing the remainder of the season. Customize your season experience before jumping into your next game.
They notice me, come and talk to me like Jodeci, but don't you be too close to me. Them goons you see, let it go for me. I bring them things, I bring them things. I call them, he bring them things. Mucho, I bring them things, looking so expensive, rings and things. I bring them things, I bring them things, I bring them things.
Man, you don't want with them, bro. Oh, you, and it better get low. Extorting, you ain't got no friends. Oh, they'll be with that like a Chanel scarf like rainbow. $1,000, this ain't your cloth. You ain't, that ain't no sauce. I can see the noodles made for poodles. I'm thinking about the LaFerrari coupe. 1.8, the option is the roof. Greens is a secret to the youth. Your goals are malnourished. Please spit the juice. Y'all be vaping, I be maiden. Yes, y'all be aping. I'm Richard Mill Nation. No diamonds, just tourbillon facing with gears and sprockets with the sapphire casing.
When I pull up, they notice me. Come and talk to me like Jodeci, but don't you be too close to me. Them goons you see, let it go for me. I bring them things, I bring them things. I call them, he bring them things. Mucho, I bring them things, looking so expensive, rings and things. I bring them things, I bring them things, I bring them things.
Here's a little story about a kid from Morocco. Had to show Carlito I was Benny Blanco. Check it out. Raindrop, offset. Plug, need an outlet. Child put me in the box, I'm in the box office. All the face shorty, socks off. Mac Miller, Reggie Miller, the killer, Canaries, back stiller, white villa, fresh vanilla, garage like a kill himself. Lauren Hill, get up. Crib Calabasas on the hill. I had a morning plate. Beatles on the red carpet. Alcatraz bars, crash cars, ain't no future in front. My homies rip your mask off.
When I pull up, they notice me. Come and talk to me like Jodeci, but don't you be too close to me. Them goons you see, let it go for me. I bring them things, I bring them things. I call them, he bring them things. Mucho, I bring them things, looking so expensive, rings and things. I bring them things. I bring them things. I bring
Yeah. Yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, every day I'm shot callin'. I'm a spray. Make it rain just to let you know I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, I've been ballin'. Yeah, just to let you know I'm ballin'. I'm a spray. Make it rain just to let you know. Tell a hater get up on my face. Yeah, I've been ballin' since like yesterday. Yeah, all this money all up in the way. All this money in the way. You know that I'm walking with the bank. Yeah, water, diamond on my ring. You know that I'm rockin', feel the blue. You know that, yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, every day I'm shot callin'. I'm a spray. Make it rain just to let you know I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, I've been ballin'. Yeah, just to let you know I'm ballin'. I'm a spray. Make it rain just to let you know. Yeah, you cannot see me, the windows is tinted. Yeah, drive around right in that Bentley. Ay, you drive around right in that Bentley. Ay, but your shit, it should be rented. Yeah, but that is none of my business. Ay, money won't stop me, go straight to the top. Believe it or not, you like getting the same. Yeah, she know I'm a rock star. Looking at my chain, on my diamonds rock hard. Turned the way up, I ain't getting tired. And if you wanna race, then we gonna ride. Yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, every day I'm shot callin'. I'm a spray. Make it rain just to let you know I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, I've been ballin'. Yeah, just to let you know I'm ballin'. I'm a spray. Make it rain just to let you know. A king is born. I told you before. A king is born. Now I told you before. A king is born. Oh yeah. Oh no. Like a beast in the jungle, in the heat of the rumble, I ain't got nothing to lose. Hey, I've been fighting these hard times in the ghettos of my mind. Now it's victory that I choose. Hey, yes, my soul is blessed, the king is born. Mama, I confess I'm a bad, bad man. Ain't no one like me. I'm a legend. Ain't no one like me. I'm a legend, legend. 'Cause I've been down so long that my crown and throne is destined. Ain't no one like me. I'm a legend, legend, legend. Like a bull in a glass house. No bull about to smash house. Can't nothing stand in my way. I don't care what the place is. From the penthouse to pavement, you better hear what I say. Hey, yeah. Yes, my soul is blessed, the king is born. Mama, I confess I'm a bad, bad man. Ain't no one like me. I'm a legend. Ain't no one like me. I'm a legend, legend. 'Cause I've been down so long that my crown and throne is destined. Ain't no one like me. I'm a legend, legend, legend. King is born. Yeah. I say, Lord, be my savior.